What's up, everybody? Renfail here. Hope you're doing well. Recently, I did the Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Starfield, and I was pulling YouTube shorts out of that, pulling clips out and putting them up on YouTube and TikTok as shorts. And one of those triggered some people and has gotten quite a bit of a reaction, which was the short on ignoring the New Game Plus mode to just play the game. And there's been some really polarizing comments from both sides of the equation that I kind of wanted to talk about today. By the way, we're sitting here in front of one of these temples in game because I'm actually working on the constellation quest with my main character, who's this guy right here. And I'm like 200-ish hours into the game. I think I haven't really checked in a while. Still only have one power. Haven't progressed my character very far into the storyline. I don't think that I'm ever going to worry about it, really, personally. And one of the things I wanted to point out was there's a great comment in our Discord in the gaming section from Kujaro, who did a screenshot about a week ago, I think now. His playtime at the time he posted the screenshot was 430 hours. And he said, I'm either crazy or the game is that good that I can't put it down. I'm not burned out yet and still have plenty to do. He then went on to talk about how, I'm going to scroll down here. It's everything I wanted from Elite Dangerous, No Man's Sky, Star Citizen ever launches, and EVE Online. However, it works so much better as a Bethesda RPG because on top of being a great space sandbox and having dogfighting with spaceships, you also get the skill trees and endless side questing of RPGs, and the outpost building and ship building is the icing on the cake. I honestly lost 100 to 200 hours just building ship designs. And I think that's the perfect example of why you shouldn't rush to get to New Game Plus. Someone on the YouTube side of things, we're going to go ahead and go over and read some commentary here from the YouTube video. Let me pull it up here from the YouTube short. And I think one of the most interesting comments I had seen so far was from someone who said, "Yeah, but if you don't do New Game Plus, you're going to skip out on all the best armor and all the best powers and all this other stuff." And someone on the other side of the fence had said that the New Game Plus mode is really just there for the power gamers, and the average person is never going to worry about New Game Plus because they're going to just be using this as a giant sandbox to play in. And I was like, that's a very, very, very valid point and a very interesting point. I think for me personally, I could say how I played the game the first, I think it's been a while since I've looked at I haven't looked at the hours played in a while, but I remember doing a video a couple of weeks ago, and I think I was around 60 hours, 50 or 60 hours into the game before I ever did a single faction mission or main mission. The first 50, 60 hours of the game, I was literally just running activities and the mission board quests, which is the activities ones you can find in a lot of different ways. You can find them by talking to NPCs who may have activities. After you talk to them, it may lead to quests. Then there's the activities you get by walking around locations and having NPCs directly address you and offer you side quests, these activities. There's also activities you can come across in the world, and when you're in space and you're flying around, you'll get activities from other people you meet in space. And I did 50, 60, like a full game's worth of content just running around doing side missions and activities and like picking up stuff from the mission boards and like running out and taking out space pirates and raiding bandit camps and going on exploring planets. And then I got into the I forget the name of the group that is like trying to find planets for people, so you go off surveying planets for them. I went planet surveying, and then I made the mistake of coming back to do some main quests and got into the constellation group and got into the lodge and saw the crafting tables, and then I lost myself to crafting for a while. I've not touched shipbuilding or outpost building yet. However many, I think the last time I made a video where I talked about it, I was around 160, 170 hours into the game, and I had just at that point in time had just finished up the two of the main storylines. I had finished up the Crimson Fleet faction, and I had finished up the Freestar Rangers factions, which I did the Freestar Rangers faction as a playlist here on YouTube. Excuse me, I'm still suffering from a little bit of a cold, guys. The point I want to make though is there's a lot of stuff to do here. Um, by the way, this planet looks great. I'm keeping it here because I want to get some screenshots as I'm rolling around. But the big thing is that this is a big game, and there are lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of things to do. There's the activities, there's the space flight stuff, there's, being a space pirate if you want to go that route. There's building ships, there's building outposts, there's the crafting system, whether it's weapon mods or space suit mods. There is the game itself and all of the activities that I mentioned and the side missions. Then you have the faction missions and the main missions. Then you have like the little things where you'll be off on a planet exploring, doing some surveying. You'll come across a few people and they have a little series of quests that you can do for them and earn factions with them. Then maybe they have a mission board to do things locally on the planet. Then there's the Constellation storyline, which is the main storyline that you see a lot of people on the internet who have said since the game launch, oh, just screw all the side quests, just do the new game plus and just rush through the storyline. It's only like 20 hours. Just get it done, get it out of the way so that you can get into new game plus mode. And I have to ask, why? A better question would be, why do I need powers to enjoy this game? I'm going to quote somebody else, one of our community members. I got to scroll through and find them on YouTube. They left a comment, and I gotta find it because it was a really great comment about how here it is. It's Nolgroth. Nolgroth left this on the on that YouTube short, and I'm gonna read through his whole comment because I find it very. I think it's the perfect discussion on the way to approach New Game Plus. He says New Game Plus feels like a gimmick. Aside from gathering lots of magical space powers, it really doesn't make things better. It's really only there for the power gamers, in my not so humble opinion. Nothing wrong with being a power gamer, but it's one of only many different playstyles. Personally, if I'm going to play the whole game from scratch, I would much rather do it with a brand new character so that I can try out different builds and playstyles. For example, I have 3 active characters, and this is where I want to talk about where New Game Plus could come in. So he says number 1 is my character who's New Game Plus, my oldest character, my ace pilot with a focus on skills that enhance his ability to blow up bounty ships, bounty hunter background, no traits. Then the second character I have is a space marine who is the product of a gene splicing experiment that was terminated. She escaped and is now on the run from the ecliptic bastards. She is specialized in all things pertaining to dealing death on the ground. Her alien DNA trait is a perfect excuse to spec out more exotic physical skills. Alien DNA, terraformer, and wanted traits. And then I have my mad scientist character, who is a disgraced professor who has his UC citizenship revoked and had to take a lowly, dusty job to pay the bills. Still new, but the science tree has been where all his points have gone. Professor background, no traits. Sticking with a single character until they max out all their skills and powers just screams boring to me. And this goes back to the person who said in one of the videos, oh, why wouldn't you play New Game Plus? It's the only way to get the best powers and the best armor and the best skills in the game. So that's where I think that folks like him have a great viewpoint in that New Game Plus is mostly designed for the power gamers out there, the guys who need to have like the best armor, best blah 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 blah. But for the average ordinary people, here's the thing. I played 150 hours of the game before I ever got my first ability. My first non-human ability, if I could say it that way. My first power, essentially. As a result of doing the Constellation quest. And I'm fine with that because I think that the way this game is meant to be played, based on everything they've said in the marketing material and everything they've said after the game has come out, and the way that I understand how Bethesda games are meant to be played, is that you can very much be just a lowly space pirate. Quick commercial break, everyone, to give a shout out to our first official guild officer, Bubbalonia, as well as all of the guild champions, and of course, all of the members who help keep me on the air full time. To join as a member, simply click that join button below and pick your tier, but you can also support with SuperChats on any live stream or premiere, or SuperThanks on any upload or YouTube short. Don't forget the Discord. Let's get back to the video. Going through space, doing your space pirate thing, or being a space marine and just doing your space marine thing, or being a planet explorer and just exploring planets and resources and building outposts and doing all that, without ever needing to ever get into the supernatural mystical side of the story. Does that mean you'll never beat the game? Who cares? This is not it's not really at its core. It's not necessarily a game that's meant to have an ending. This is meant to be a game with that the thousand planets thing they talked about at the beginning, where you can literally come in the game and be whatever you want to be, do whatever you want to do, and never progress the main storyline if you don't want to. You can go off and just do activities and mission board stuff and planet surveying and exploration and be a space trucker and have your outposts and get rich and do all this other stuff without ever needing to ever go out there and get powers or follow the main storyline or become one of these special people that gets the new game plus. I think it's great to have that as an option, but I think it's very disingenuous for people to recommend that new players rush through the game to get to new game plus mode because that's where it's all out. That's where the game really starts. That is just blatantly not fucking true. This is a game where we have people who have 400, 500 hours in the game and still haven't gotten a single power yet because that option exists. You can literally live out a lifetime in this game without ever needing to follow through the main storyline and do the whole constellation quest and powers and everything else and all the subsequent stuff that leads to. So my suggestion to new players would be ignore New Game Plus. Just enjoy the game. Sink your teeth into Starfield. It has its quirks. It has bugs. It has way too many fucking loading screens. But it's still a lot of fun. And it looks great. I mean, just look at this. I'm on the Series X. You can't tell me that this doesn't look just freaking amazing. By the way, if I want to go jump off here, should I jump off here? Oh, I can't because I'm in screenshot mode. Here, there we go. Do I want to risk this? I'm never going to make that. Oh, I did make it. I'm surprising. The game is beautiful. It's vast. There's so much out here that you can go explore. I think that's my ship down there, isn't it? Yeah. There's all sorts of stuff around here that you can go see. And the best thing is like there's all of these, looking at the if we go in here to my missions, you can just look at all of this stuff to do, and all of these. Just hang on a second. I got to go to my missions here. I have all of these quests that need to be done. I still haven't touched the Vanguard quest lines or the Ryujin Industries quest lines. I have all of these activities that I need to do, and I've only completed maybe a couple dozen quests overall. And yet, there might be more than a couple dozen in there. And yet, well, I suppose there's more than a couple dozen when you break down the fact that there's multiple parts to each one of those quest lines. There's just a lot to do, everybody. There's a big universe out there to explore, and you don't need to rush. So I think that if you are a power gamer and you want to get the best armor and the best weapons and the best powers and all that other stuff, then by all means do New Game Plus. But if you're just someone who wants to live in this world that Bethesda has provided you with Starfield, just go out there and do it. There is no reason to rush to New Game Plus. Just ignore it. Just play the game. Have fun. Get however many hundreds of hours you want to get out of it before you ever go through. I personally, this is just my personal opinion, I don't think I will ever actually do a New Game Plus mode. I just don't think I will. I might test it out, but for me, I can see myself, I think I estimated the other day that it's going to be 300 hours before I actually finish the main storyline because I'm just sidetracked with all this other stuff. And that's assuming I don't get sidetracked with shipbuilding and outpost building because I haven't even touched that. Or I may choose to go the route that Nogloth, is it Nogloth? Nogloth? I always forget his name. Nolgroth. I may go the route that Nolgroth went and just have different characters who have different playthroughs. So one guy is the guy who goes to the New Game Plus mode, but because I already said earlier I'm going to do a Space Marine who goes and joins the UC Vanguard and like hates everyone who's not human, and is just focused on, being the model Marine. I like the idea of having a playthrough because the current character I'm playing is more like the Space Smuggler. I don't know, folks. I'm rambling. I don't think New Game Plus is something that you need to worry about if you just want to explore the game and have fun. Ignore it. Just leave it there. Unless you're a power gamer, in which case, go forth and have fun. No one's saying you can't. I'm not saying that you can't play the game however you want to play. I am just saying to the new players out there who might be listening to people telling them to rush through the game, don't do it. You're going to miss out on so much. Take your time, explore, enjoy. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams, 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, most mornings, Central Time. To keep me on the air full time, all you got to do is drop a super thanks on this video or join as a member. Get access to private member videos as well, and I'll see everybody in the next episode. Don't forget Discord. Links are down below.